national executive leader, I have to pronounce this properly, of Nawa Future Political Movement Yaoundé, Cameroon. Well, l- can you hear me, Lena? Can you hear me?
You, baby Jake.
All right. We have to do this because I think that your connection is poor and you can't join us on Zoom. So we're going to try to manage the phone calls because Zoom is not working. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you pronounce the Nawa Future? Is it the same thing? Is it like in pidgin?
It's Pigeon, actually. Our future.
Ah,
Yeah, it's Pigeon. Yeah, our future.
lovely. Let's start by giving Nigerians a clear picture as to Paul Biya's presidency. I mean, he's been in government since 1982, a year before I was even born, and maybe longer than most Cameroonians have been alive for. Why is Paul Biya still president of Cameroon and still wants to be president even in 2025?
Yeah, Cameroon has had one of the most highly linked system since 1960 till now that has never been broken by the win of 1990 multi-party politics in Africa, or even the rise of youth movements in Africa, or the rise of new leaderships in Africa. First, Cameroon has never experienced a successful military coup. Cameroon has never experienced a democratical change in leadership through the ballot box where citizens go vote and then get a new president in power. And Cameroon has never gotten a people-oriented leader as well. Paul Biya has been president since 1982 present because he's successfully managed the maintenance of the one-party system that was created by first ever President Amadou Ahidjo. And in the advent of multi-party politics, he simply chose to use the Machiavelli style of multiplicity of opposition political parties and then dividing them as much as possible with the ability for the ruling party to use state resources and bribe whosoever they can bribe and make them vulnerable at the beck and call of the party in power in such a way that he can smoothly organize phony elections and then call it a process of democracy and transfer of power. And what still, we've had one of the most porous constitutions in Africa where we have 7 years presidential office mandate with the ability to renew it unlimited. This is not how the Constitution of Cameroon was born, but we've had leaders that has never been at respect of limits to office mandate. The 1961 Unification Constitution that brought the English-speaking and French-speaking Cameroonians together was violated by the first president, Amadou Ahidjo, in 1972. And with pressures and the rise of Anglophone power by the 1990s and the holding of the first and second Anglophone conference in Biya respectively, a new constitution was drafted by 1996, and this constitution was supposed to have 7 years renewable one's office mandate. But this too was violated by Paul Biya by 2008 when he submitted a bill in the parliament for parliamentarians to vote for the removal of this term limit in the constitution, and it was successfully done by 28. There were mutiny, there were some protests and clashes, but this went through, and that is how he planted the seed of life president. I know, as most dictators in Africa, this guy wants to die in power because he's sucked a lot of blood, he's killed a lot of people.
Sorry. Hold on, Lena. You're on the radio. You're telling us that he's killed a lot of people. Do you have any facts, any proof to show that this has happened? I mean, I know I'm coming to the fact where we're going to discuss about the Anglophone crisis and how many people have died and how many people have disappeared. But do you think that this has been done by the president or under his watch or by people who are somewhat busybodies who do these things in the name of the president?
The society is founded on the basis of social contract, and the contract has rules on both ends. The president, who guarantees the sovereignty of the people, who guarantees the rights of the people, and who has the responsibility to protect the citizens, must do his job. But in our context, this guy has never been able to do his job. This guy has never been able to, for one moment, protect the citizens. And this has been the problem. This is why in Cameroon, the rampant road accidents that kill citizens. In Cameroon, there are crises in the English-speaking regions that has led to the death of thousands of Cameroonians. There are the insecurity crisis in the extreme north regions of the country that has led to the death of so many people. So who takes responsibility for the death of these people? And he has never been in the capacity to address Cameroonians. It's not me, the international media reported on his leadership as an absentee president, someone who is never present, someone who is never addressing his citizens, someone who is never talking to his citizens, and was still addressing the citizens in both languages that are enshrined in Article 3, Sub 3 of the Constitution of Cameroon, saying English and French are equal languages. He doesn't care about this. So this guy simply says everything he wants to say in French and then leave the other one to be interpreted by whosoever could interpret. So all this flagrant violation of articles of the constitution of a country is indication of negligence on the part of the functions, rules, and responsibilities of the president, who leads to the way citizens succumb to some of the consequences of these things, and even the taking away of their lives. Youth die in the Mediterranean, youth die in security crisis, youth die in the senseless war in Northwest and Southwest, and all these things. He says nothing, but comes to say to Cameroonians at 93 years old how ridiculous it sounds to be able again to roll us to be the president presenting his candidature. This is absolutely out of question and out of the aspiration and wish of the younger generation of Cameroonians, which constitute the larger part of the country or population of the country.
I have just a minute before we go on a break, but I want to quickly ask, with all of the grim picture that you painted to us, where is the place of democracy in Cameroon in 60 seconds before we go on a break? Quickly.
Just like one writer said, in every 7 years, President Paul Biya will organize, phony elections to justify his continuous stay in power, where he still have total control of elections Cameroon. That is the institution in charge of organization of elections in Cameroon. He appoints the chairman of this institution. He also appoints the chairman of the Constitutional Council. And these people he appoints are former members of his political party who still have militancy, who still have the spirit of being part of his party. There is no independence. And Cameroon operates in an appointive system, and a system where those who are appointed have stronger power than those who are elected. So you see what they call the sous-prefet, or DOs, SDOs, which are colonial administrative supervisors. They still exist in Cameroon.
Okay.
And this is why this guy has been able to maintain power for this long and completely bring a kind of democracy that is very far away from what obtains in most
we have to go on a break. Fabrice Lena is joining us from Yaoundé. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Fabrice will answer some questions as we come back from the break.
We'll be back in a moment. See, everybody with him own wahala. Every day comes with its own version of challenges, and you have to be ready to face them, because only then can you move on to the next. That's why I never miss my breakfast. Scratch that! My peak breakfast, with the nutrients and energy I need to face each day, one challenge at a time.
Every day is a good day to power on with a peak breakfast. Have you had yours? Peak. Reach for your peak.
Hi, this is Nene from the boat safety team. You can't see us, but we're right here with you on every boat ride. To your left is the ride insurance team. We insure your ride as soon as your trip starts. To your right is the record audio team. We keep a recording of your trip for 24 hours in case you need it later. And behind you is the customer support team, ready to chat 24/7. We're the boat safety team, by your side on every ride.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development and the care they need with the new NanKid 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics to help your child's digestion and development, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. And all of these work together to support your child's development and growth today and tomorrow. NanKid 4. Nourish your child's potential.
This summer, don't just take a break. Live in it at Ziba Beach Resort. Whether it's summer romance, a summer family escape, or that long overdue solo recharge, Ziba is your slice of beachside bliss. Let the kids roam free while you dive into delicious meals, refreshing ocean dips, and those unbeatable breezy vibes. From daily activities for both kids and adults, there's something for everyone. Just visiting? Don't worry, we've got you covered with our day passes too. Book your summer spot now at zibabeachresort.com or call 0704 730 0013.
Every day is about winning with one play on Nigeria Info. On Nigeria Info, daily winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3#. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays, and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3#. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission.
Hey, rewards to the land! When I buy airtime and data on any network,
I get up to 10% cash back.
I pay my NEPA, DSTV, or StarTimes and call
3% cash back.
Now so, Smart Cash back, don't they reloaded.
And they load my wallet.
Hey, it's the Smart Cash back reloaded. Top up airtime or data on any network and get up to 10% cash back, or pay your electricity or cable TV bill and get 3% cash back sharply. Only on Smart Cash. No door yourself. Download the Smart Cash app or dial *939# to start today. Terms and conditions they shall.
Success is like a big mansion. You only see the magnificent edifice, not the strong foundation that holds it. Likewise, in the world of e-payments, you only see transactions done and funds remitted. But who pioneered these financial technology solutions? Well, you knew it as ValueCard, now Unified Payments, Nigeria's premier financial technology service provider. Yes, it starts here. Find out more at www.up-ng.com.
Unified Payments. Unifying businesses for people.
In the kitchen game, there are players and then Agba Ballers, MVP, Player of the Year, 10-0, no rival. Become an Agba Baller with the new improved Maggi chicken flavor, made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric to bring out your top game in the kitchen. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, my game changer.
Grab your sunglasses, beachwear, sunscreen, and head over to Ziba Beach Resort, where there is a spot with your name on it just for you and your loved ones. To book your holiday spot, visit zibabeachresort.com or call 0704 730 0013. Ziba Beach Resort, Lagos. A beachside Christmas awaits you.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks were clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though. School is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Now so I did on my own. Now a message enter my phone. Fiam. I can't click Fiam. Now so my money for account go. Fiam. Hey. If to say na Airtel you they use, them for first alert you before you click Airtel they identify spammers. Then alert them customers with AI powered service to make sure say you know for Mugu for Wuru scam messages. No charges, no subscription needed. Me self they go join Airtel. Fiam.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Auntie, you are enjoying, oh? Only you. Peppered rice, amala, nkwobi, masa, cake, and now ice cream. I hope you have Justifies on you.
Justifies? I never leave home without it.
That's right, Justifies, the new natural effervescent powder for an instant refreshing relief from heartburn and stomach indigestion. Just add Justifies into a cup of water, drink, and you're good to go. Justifies, your relief on the go. Justifies is from the House of Justeed. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Made and marketed by Ranbaxy Nigeria Limited, a Sun Pharma company.
All right, class, settle down. Today, let's talk about how you started your day.
We got dressed and had pancakes with John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate for breakfast.
My mom makes John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate for us too.
My mom calls it instant goodness. My sister and I always put it inside our pap. It's so yummy.
John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate is a chocolate drink made of rich cocoa, milk, and sugar. Available nationwide in stores. John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate. Enjoy instant goodness.
I don't know, man. These days, all you hear is save, invest, save, invest. Wait, how do you guys find this money? Is it not someone that is settled that will have money to save and invest? And even if I manage to invest or save, the interest rates are so low. And one can lose money in all these crypto, NFT, blockchain, and so on.
Introducing Fund 724. It's a simple solution to all your money goals. With as low as 1,000 naira or that urgent 2K in your pocket, you can start saving with Fund 724 and earn solid returns on your investment. And you can withdraw your money from your account for free. Anytime you like, just dial *724# on your mobile phone and follow the prompts.
Oh, so no need to download an app or join a long queue.
Dial *724# now to get started. Fund 724 is available 24/7. Guarantee Trust Fund Managers is a subsidiary of Guarantee Trust Holding Company PLC and regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Ah, finally.
Finally what?
I've been trying to reach your phone for days.
Oh, so sorry. Telecommunication services have been very poor in my area lately. Some hoodlums vandalized the telecoms masts around here.
Ah, they tried it in my area, but guess what? Our people now protect the mast as if our lives depend on it.
Wise move. I must tell my husband to raise the issue at our community meeting so that we too can protect all our telecom masts.
Exactly. You see, when telecom masts and fiber cables are destroyed, every area of our life, from education to healthcare to banking operations and the entire economy, is affected. Vandalizing telecommunications infrastructure harms everyone. Dial 622 from any network or send an email to protect@ncc.gov.ng to report suspected cases of vandalism. This message is brought to you by mobile network operators and telcos in collaboration with the Nigerian Communications Commission.
What you're about to taste is so hot, it's got basket mouth singing.
Ninja Pepe flavor. Yeah. Mini Ninja Pepe flavor. Chris. Heat.
Mini Pepe. Ninja flavor.
Nothing brings the heat like the bold taste of Mini-Me Noodles Naija Pepper Flavor. Try it today and see for yourself. Mini-Me Noodles Naija Pepper Flavor. Slap it like it's hot.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Credible journalism, bridging the gap between people and those in authority. With hard facts, you are sure to get only the facts.
Tune in to Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria.
All right, still 99.3 Nigeria Info, the nation's #1 talk news and sports radio station. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM, still live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. On Global Review today, we're looking at the president of Cameroon's 8-term bid, Paul Biya's 8-term bid on Global Review today. And my guest is Fabrice Lena, who's joining us from Yaoundé in Cameroon. And he's been talking to us about what he thinks is the antecedents and, of course, the continuous progress, maybe not necessarily positive progress of the president. We're looking at the state of democracy in Cameroon, if there be any, and, of course, the president's new bid. Now, don't forget, President Paul Biya is 91 years old, and he has been in power since 1982. And now, Fabrice, before you went on that break, you talked about the fact that it looks like everything's been pocketed, including the electoral umpire and several other people who are supposedly supposed representatives of the people. Those are members of the parliament. How can the people of Cameroon get good governance if they do not have a say in it? And are people able to speak up about these things that are happening in their country? Is the press free? What exactly is the situation of things out there?
Context is very difficult. It's a very tough one. And just to correct you, Paul Biya is not 91. So officially it is said he was born in 1933, but which makes him to be 92 years old as we speak now, plus because he was born 13 February. And this is someone that, by virtue of nature, his physiology and physiognomy, his mental capacity to reason out things, it's no more there. So this is what we're talking about. When it comes to press freedom, the country is not on the good records of country that can say it really has free press. There is freedom to talk, but there is no freedom after speech. So don't be surprised that after our discussions, if this is going live on YouTube or Facebook, you have to keep on checking if Fabrice and I see all right. Because in our context, yeah, of course, this is the truth about Cameroon. In our context, there is forced disappearance. In our context, there is torture of journalists. A lot of journalists have disappeared in our country without trace. There's one very prominent case of Samuel Wazizi. Samuel Wazizi disappeared in the context of the Anglophone crisis and has never been found till date. And his family has never been given an answer about his whereabouts. And he was taken by security forces. There is also Mimi Mefo, one of the online reporting platforms for Cameroon News. Mimi Mefo, she was with German Deutsche Welle. She is living in exile in Germany and UK because she was being sanctioned and taken to temporary detention when she was reporting accurately and objectively about the Anglophone crisis. So these are concrete cases of people that has faced the full force of repression because of their voices. And there are many other. We also know of the recent case of Martinez Zogo that was killed on broad daylight and his body discovered in the countryside because he criticized certain forces within the system making leadership and the political situation difficult, and even those who are into blatant corruption and tax exemption. So he used to say this in a Chronicle radio program every morning. I'm calling out names. So this is how tough it is in our country in terms of the price. For political rallies, only the party in power can rally its militants in a certain magnitude. For us who are having political parties in the opposition, it's quite difficult because even when you go within the 1990 laws permitting and granting opposition and members of the civil society the right to organize themselves, right to associate, they will still twist the law to say it means authorization. Who are you going to get this authorization from? The divisional officers and subdivisional officers, which are appointed by the head of state. And these guys are basically there to do the whims and caprices of the head of state. We have been clamoring for a change of system because we believe that this kind of repressive, this kind of appointive system do not allow for people to have free will to work. Even those who have good minds in the system to work well are conditioned by the way the system operates to work in favor of those and the president of the republic. So that's how bad the situation is. Across every other sector, Cameroonians don't exercise their freedom out of the conviction that you belong to this country. It's out of extreme courage. Yeah, people who are courageous like myself and few other citizens who take the bull by the horns, who talk it as it is without fear of the consequence of what may arrive are really very few. And many other citizens do not speak or will not be able to talk because of fear of the consequence of what may happen. And many others comply because of grudging. In fact, they comply by grudging. It's by grudging compliance that they do a lot of things they do. Because once you belong to the public sector in Cameroon, you might not be free to talk because your salary is in danger, your daily bread is in danger, and at any moment in time, these mechanisms and they might use a lot of direct target to your livelihood, source of livelihood, so that you can't talk anymore. So it's uncountable ways that the system, it's a system that should be studied in Africa and be avoided, because to manage to stay in power for this long, which is not a monarchy, it's absolutely an incredible power conservation strategy. Yeah.
It's interesting. And for those who are listening from outside of the country now, they'd be wondering, does that mean that on the day of the elections, people will come out and vote for Paul Biya because there is no opposition? What does that mean for them going forward? What about the Gen Zs, the young people in Cameroon? Do they not have a say? Also, I want to talk about the handling of the Anglophone crisis, which has led to a lot of people fleeing the Anglophone part of Cameroon. And we've seen many of them filter into Nigeria, especially neighboring states like Cross River, Bakassi, the Bakassi part of Cross River, and of course the Ikom Etung area. How do you view the handling of that Anglophone crisis? Is it that people who say it's fueled by the government, and there are those who are saying the constitution in itself has allowed for this kind of crisis to brew?
Yeah, the Anglophone crisis is dated as far back as the advent of independence. Of course, we all know that the English-speaking part of Cameroon was being governed as an integral part of Nigeria until independence, when we were given just two options to get independence by joining. Because myself, and I'm from the English-speaking part of the country, my town of origin is Bamenda. So we were given just two options to join Nigeria or Cameroon, and our grandparents voted to join Cameroon because it was formerly one, and then it was colonialism that separated us. But what should be noted is that it's not 100% of people who voted to join the French-speaking part of Cameroon. Just 55% voted to join, according to the statistics of the plebiscite. And 44 did not agree to join. And that's why, till date, there are a couple of families that, when the unification arrangement was made, they choose to cross to Nigeria and establish their families there. There are a lot of communities in Cameroon that share families with Nigeria. My community is one of them because I belong to the Chamba community. And in the Chamba community, we have a very large Chamba community in the Taraba state of Nigeria. And there we have the Chamba people. We dress the same, we talk the same language, we do a lot of things the same. Same with some people who have characteristics with Mamfi and Calabar in Nigeria, and so on and so forth. So this is historical, and the cultural influence, the colonial heritage influence of the English language, the Anglo-Saxon mindset, and the entertainment industry, and all these things have made people in this part of the country to lean more to Nigeria. Also because the terrestrial and maritime boundary between Cameroon and Nigeria is found, but in English-speaking regions, more of it. And over time, the people had admired the federal structure of leadership, and they had always wanted to be governed under a federal government and not a centralized unitary government. This is the birth of the Anglophone crisis, because Cameroon unification was made under a federal arrangement. President Amadou Eju and John Guffoncha came together under a federal arrangement, but this federal arrangement was broken in 1972 illegally, because Article 47 of this constitution of the federal structure said that we were supposed to have a rotatory presidency where if the president is a francophone, the vice president is an anglophone, and this was supposed to be the modus operandi of the country. But this was broken in 1972 when a fake one-party system referendum was organized to dissolve the federal system and move now to a united republic. And when President Paul came to power in 82, by 1984, he simply changed the name of the country from United Republic of Cameroon to the Republic of Cameroon, giving back Cameroon the name the French-speaking part got independence with in 1st January 1960. And this is when elite of the English-speaking region started getting angry that our identity is being swallowed, it's been annihilated, it's been absorbed, and we can't take this. This is the birth of the Anglophone crisis and the name Southern Cameroons. And it amplified in 2016 and led to a full-blown war when English-speaking lawyers and teachers had subdued a lot of marginalization, a lot of subjugation, a lot of domination in state institutions. So people who are trained in English academies, as teachers and lawyers, do not get employment. But the French guys who come and do Anglo-Saxon education and cannot speak English well are the ones that are being given the jobs. And this is where the people got angry and said this cannot be taken anymore. And then peaceful protest was launched on the advent of the supposed Independence Day of Southern Cameroon, which was planned but never happened, 1st October 1961. It was supposed to be the same 1 year immediately after the independence of Nigeria, 1st October 1961. And this was the day that the protest sparked off in the English-speaking regions, and the government responded with a lot of force, and it led now to the full-blown Anglophone crisis, because elite in this area responded with ghost town, with boycott of government activities in this area, and this has led to the death of thousands of people and migration of hundreds of thousands of refugees into the neighboring states that you just mentioned. I myself visited these areas in 2017-18. I visited Taraba, visited Akwa Ibom, visited Ogoja, visited Ikom, visited Calabar, right up to Benue and even Yola. And all our people, most of them have decided that they prefer to become Nigerians, to live there, than to come back again and be living as if they are in some sort of colonial domination. Okay. And this has been the reality of English-speaking people.
All right, I have just 5 minutes on the clock, and I want to bring people into this conversation. Of course, before you go, I will ask you what you think the fate of the people of Cameroon is. I mean, if Paul Biya, as you said, is not about, does not have his wits about him, then who is running the country? But I'll let you take a breather while I take calls. Lagos, you could join the conversation 0201-277-0993, 0201-465-7190. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. We're talking about Paul Biya of Cameroon and his 8-term bid for presidency. Please, 30 seconds, go straight to the point. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hi, Maryann.
Good evening.
Good evening to you and your guest. So listening to your guest this evening, Maryann, it just speaks a whole lot about Cameroon. What he's saying brings to to mind what is playing out in Cameroon and Nigeria, talking about the rave and craze of politicians to cling on to power by all means, and the subjugation of journalists by the powers that be, because when they report this high-handedness, you want to stifle and shush them into silence, even if there's any form of opposition, you just want to quell it. So my question to your guest now is, are our African leaders all copying from the same templates to intentionally unleash terror on the people, or is it that there's someone somewhere in the Western world paying the African piper to dictate this tune?
All right, thank you very much. 30 seconds is all you have. Just go straight to the point. Hello, welcome to Hard Fact.
Yeah, good evening, Maryann.
Good evening. 30 seconds. Go straight to the point, please.
It's Emmanuel, I'm speaking to you from Ekpe. This is the kind of scenario you see, and then we will be thanking God for our own in Nigeria. But my question for your guest is that do they have the plan for the next 10 years? Because I know that the inevitable will happen, between now and the next 10 years. I mean, probably passing away, of the president or head of state or whatever you can call it. Do they have a plan, for the next 10 years? Thank you.
All right. I think I can just allow Fabrice to respond because he has just 2 minutes. Fabrice, would you like to respond to my callers?
Of course. Please just remind me the first question because I got the second one.
The first
clearly,
question is obviously talking about, the similarities of what's happening in Nigeria and Cameroon, the subjugation of journalists, stifling of, the voices of the people. It just ties to my same question as to, is there an end in sight? And then the next caller is saying, do you have a 10-year plan? How do you get out of this? And if Paul Biya dies, which will eventually happen, is there a plan?
Yeah. For the first question, I know that Nigerians also have some challenges when it comes to relationship between the citizen and the state, and also the protests, NSAS, and so on. But believe me, you guys are quite advanced when it comes to governance, when it comes to political order, when it comes to state-citizen relationship, when it comes to constitutional democracy. Just the fact that Nigerians know that after every 4 years we have to vote a president, and a president can only mess up with them for 8 years, and they get away with this person, and then they can have a new person. It's always better to recycle politicians than to maintain one. And maintaining one when you even don't have the capacity to maintain that person, like it's not even within your will. The Constitution says so. But our situation is worse because in as much as we want to get away with this guy, the Constitution gives him that latitude, that possibility to stay there for as long as he can, in as much as his manipulative mechanism still works for him. So this is where we are still far behind because we are struggling. Our struggle, one of our tenets in our future is to obtain a 5 years presidential term office, renewable ones. This is what we are putting as a campaign message for 2025 elections to the new candidates coming up. Okay. We are saying that we need to obtain a kind of competitive political environment and reduce the number of political parties. We are just 30 million inhabitants, and we cannot be having more than 300 political parties in this kind of system.
All right.
And then the second question is,
in closing, we have just 10 seconds. We have 10 seconds.
Okay. Of course, we do. We do have a 10 years plan of action. We already have movements like Stand Up for Cameroon. We have movements and political action plans for Cameroon after Paul Biya. The pathway is that we, the people, have prepared some people that we know that could manage things in case this guy is not there.
We have to go.
The rapport de force with existing power.
All right, Fabrice, I wish we could have this conversation longer, but Fabrice Lena is the National Executive Leader of Nawa Future Political Movement in Yaoundé, Cameroon. Thank you so much for coming on the show, but our time is fast spent and we have to go. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mimi. I'm looking forward to having more interesting conversations with you, and best wishes to you and your viewers.
All right.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.